Hello and welcome. Right now, I am a little bit. This is the situation I was on about with the best way, which is when you've got very little room. I'm wondering how we're going to do this. I'm going to be totally honest. I was going to go ahead and do this, and I'm not sure. Really not sure how we're going to do this. I mean, we can sort of go into one of the other fields. That's not my point. But then we're still got the same problem. This needs dropping off, which still means really that the way I've always done this is normally, can we spin around in this central hub? But this was always what I said. I don't like to moan about things. Don't, even though it may appear to be. Oh my God, is that crap? It's not, is it? Oh, I thought I was going to go in this grass field, and it's not. It's soy. So, can we? I don't think we can. I don't think there's enough room, and that sort of is my point. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. Yeah, there might be. It's the inner driver of me is saying it's going to be close. Let's give this a go. And which? That's a point, actually. Is this going to be the right way? It's not, is it? It's going to be the wrong. Oh, it is. It's going to be the wrong one. So that would mean we'd have to... Can we sort of fix this without destroying someone's car? Sort of. We know we can't destroy someone's car. That's not really the point, is it? It's can we do this? Even if it takes 10 minutes. Is after all, only 10 past 11. Sort of. Not sure there's enough. I don't really. Yeah, it's sort of. If you think about this, it's one of those situations where, yeah, we're either going to damage something, or can we sort of. I don't think we can. Yeah, we've sort of now got ourselves in one of those situations because I wish this to succeed, and I'm totally committed. Or should be. Oh, we can do it. Oh, I thought I was jammed. So can we now? But you can see my point though. This is not. I've normally done this with a telehandler or even a front loader when it's on a normal flatbed. This twisty turny thing, although I can see it's sort of necessary to grab it, it's not so good when you've got to let it go. Yeah. If it's shunting this for 10 minutes. I don't think that is the best way. Am I playing on words on purpose? Of course I am. Absolutely, I am. Now this, I think, because I've chopped, obviously we did this, we made that as broad as it is. If you check that against the others, none of them are as big as that. Now, I don't mind us having this. It's, yeah, that big. But what I mean is, this wouldn't work normally, although I have got a bit of a trick for hugging around gateposts, so I could sort of, I mean, you can see that really I can't change my angle much more than this. One more, and I think that is as good as we get. Not too tight. That's the thing, you've only got the space that you've got to work with, really. So that is as good as I can get it. Right, okay, so we need to go and grab the other one, because both of our headers are not like Titans or anything like that. Sorry, they are Titans, but they're not the Draper Titan, they're the normal. Well, actually, one's a New Holland. One is a Titan, I don't know which one. Oh, yeah, I do. This is the New Holland. It is, as you can just about make out on the end. So then, let's go grab the other one. Let's bring both in the cockpit of my life. What? How did we grab that? It's wide wheels, which I mentioned last session, that I said that the design of the wheels was too bad. I think we've sort of proved the point without even meaning to. Really, because, yeah. Let's just try it. No, that's going to make matters worse. Oh, this is a mess. It really is, right. Okay, we're going to have to go the long way. and we're going to have to come back a long way, all because we've used the best way. It is true. There's no denying that fact. Right, let's get on. No, it is true that I'm not one for whipping something when it's down, but yeah, I think I've sort of proved my point to myself more than anything, because all of these points you only ever really prove to yourself. It's that is the horses. Yeah, I do. It's a little bit too wide on the end. I think it's just my personal opinion. It needs to be about the same width as the actual train. And this is the short version. We shortened it after snagging every last little turn when we were using the longer version, which also has very wide wheels, which is a double whammy. So if we grab, start this engine. Is this the big one or is this our original one? It's a 670, our new one's a 750. Right, let's get all ready. But we really do need to lead these. I'm going to go into a time lapse, but I just wanted to sort of, I wanted to do a bit more than this. Yeah, I've sort of, in fact, yeah, let's just get out of this situation a bit. Obviously, we know we've got lots of stuff over there. You may have wondered last session, why did I leave this up here? Was I was like in disgrace or something like that? That's not really it. No, it's not. I sort of spied, you may have seen me turn my head as we passed the fields, and I thought, this should be able to grab that corn header. Because this is the right type of left-hand side. We're in the UK. I think the pathway's down here, but it's in the field at the bottom. You can just make it out on the left. There's also 3 fertilizer. I think they may be below the surface of the ground. We'll have a look. So we are sort of upon them. So if they were. It's a flying deer. Oh, there's a tree as well. Yeah, we're sort of really upon them. Should we sort of to the left of us if they were above ground? So the fact we can't see them when we're literally on top of 2 of them proves my points, really. Ooh, keep crashing into the trees. It is a little tight in here, but I just wanted to sort of look and see. So it looks like I'm going to have to, edit them out of the XML, or it's going to drive us all crazy every single time you go on the map. It did with it's typical. Yeah, there is the header, and it's not fair. I was going to chop the hedge, but we're not going to do that anyway. Let's have a look. Let's have a bird's eye view and just see. Is there any way? No. No, literally, as I was right, it is up back there, but you can sort of get around. If we sort of follow the hedge line back, it's not undoable. Yeah, the one thing I'm going to say, that most of the electrical vehicles on the game, the brakes are a bit weird. Yeah, they're not sort of like as if the torque's not right. I've got the front loader, and I've had it lots of times, and it's got a diesel version. I've had that one, or diesel or petrol, I'm not sure which one, but I've had that. It stops beautifully. It's a fantastic. Now then, what are we going over? It's wow. Is it been harvested? No, it's still growing. We'll do the bestest we can to sort of minimise the damage. Will we get it? It's a bit tight. We should do just. Same. Oh, yeah, no, we did. There was a flicker. apologise for going over the field. It's a minimum of damage. Now that we've, yeah, we would be reparations, I would say. Well, to be honest, we probably would arrange, if it weren't a game, I would come back when the crop had been done. But so there are little trails on this as well, aren't there? Yeah, we know this about Glenleaf, and we sort of saw this, but we just don't know the local trails yet. I just thought I'd grab this so that you can all see that this is, yeah, and the fertilizer, as I say, at least we know now that it's lost forever. Yeah, the alleyways are very, very narrow, but I've got to be honest, some of these are. I've never seen one quite this narrow. Just, I'm saying this just for, yeah, because it is a little tight. This is actually, yeah, I've got to be honest, it was, I did prefer the spacing on, we could actually go through there, it's wider. We do own it, we're allowed. The word's gone. The word is gone. The islands. Ebony Island, that's the one. Yeah, I like the spacing on Ebony Island. That was more like most... Coming from a farming background, my family's moved around from 2 or 3 farms. We had a farm in Ashbourne, then we moved to Lincolnshire. And all of the local little sort of trails like this were all more like Ebony Islands, really, not like those that we just saw. Yeah, more like this. Oh, he says as he crashes into the... Yeah, this I would say is a bit more believable, a bit more what I would expect. And even this is not wide, but you don't really expect them to be. Yeah, this is about right. We don't need this. But also, we don't really want to... I don't know whether we're going to keep the headers. We've got a lot of massive equipment. I'm almost tempted to get rid of the bale storage because I never use them. Yeah, just the way that I play the game. So I'd like to, but I know we're going to get penalised. I know this. Fantastic. So let's go grab the best way. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one with. Right, where are we? Where did we stick? Where did I drop? Why did I leave it in the middle of the... I bet I've just gone past it. I bet I have. Yeah, where did I abandon ship? I know we did that. Here we go. Right, let's go grab the best way. Sorry, the header with the best way. That's what I really meant to say. We've already got the best way. Yeah, so it is good, and I like the premise. I do. I've got to be honest. It's like many mods. It's sometimes the more complicated something is, the more it sort of crashes and burns. Right, so we're in the right position. If you could have picked it up sideways, that might have worked a little better. Even though I love the theatrics of this, but it's not, you know, the reality and the fact that it means you need a lot of space. That's where it falls down. Why are you not turning? Ah, selected the header itself rather than the actual best way. Where is the harvester? Should be here. I'll follow him because these are really awful, really terrible. Yeah, so this is the 750. This is the new one. It's a little bit more power. Not a lot, though. I think we. Why is that? We moved it. Shouldn't be tagged anymore. Right, now we're over this, we're going to get cracking. We are going to do a time lapse. I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. more proof of concept than actual. Yeah, I just thought to see if I could rest it because it's sort of the right height, and obviously you could get it down the other end, but it would sit differently to that. Obviously, it's sort of suspended by magic. We don't. Yeah, I don't really like showing that, but it was more. Can I get two on that out? Now there are some traders. I've got to be honest. I'm sure the H2 Studios. I can get two on there. Sure, I can. I'm sure I've got two. Could be smaller ones, and perhaps they're not so wide, or perhaps I didn't close the first one properly, and it's still got its. No, no, not really. No, that's all good. Yeah, of course it's going to snatch. Yeah, I just thought, but I'm going to be fair with this as well, because obviously that's why I wanted to do it a little higher. Oh my life! Oh, oh, I must be touching. Yeah, I am. That's my fault. Yeah, the top one. No, it's the bottom one. It's the bottom. It is big. I knew it was going to be. Now again, the H2 Studios, and it's got ramps, the dovetails, which tuck under, and that's the one I've always used. But obviously, this is what we had. But if this was what we chose, which, to be honest, of the two, I like the idea of grabbing both headers off the field in one go. Yes, you've got to have your telehandler around as well. Wow, snatching a lot. Yeah, the turning around, it worked. It did, and I actually used my noddle and I reversed, so that was all good. But obviously I'd have to come back twice for that, so for all a man and his truck and just that, this it is different. I'm not trying to yeah, we all know it's different. I'm not sort of trying to like say, because I've just brought a telehandler. So, not sure what I'm doing with the straw yet. I usually go Omatana, but I'm sort of deliberating. Can also take it to the BGA, so we could sort of drop them in the normal silo and take them straight to straw. And what I'm trying to do is actually, for once, because I always go the Omatana, is actually doing this with just, yeah, as it is, because you can do straw to that. So I'm thinking we'll just literally use this for all that we can, rather than me use what I normally would. In other words, try to use the production we've got to the absolute most that it does, and that's not bad. That's not a bad little workout, is it? When you look at the methane and that, really, that's almost doubled. That's quite a lot. It's 24. If you were to times it by the straw, it's 25 tons of straw a month, which produces 24 times 913, 24 times plus 752. Yeah, I'm sort of trying to get better with my productions and the recipes, because obviously you'll find that what we normally look at as the end result, which would be 24 times 930 and 24 times 752. But to produce that, you have to do 1010. That's a bit of an odd number, but yeah, so 1010 times 24 cycles is the how many in total it will process. But doing so will produce, for every 1010, it will produce 930 plus 752. Yes, it's a. So, yeah, I've not. Yeah, so obviously I've only got the 10. The bad thing is, if we do that though, is I've then got to like go all the way back to the farm. Right, where was I? Apologies for that. My wife. Right, yeah, what was I saying? I was saying, yeah, I wasn't sure what we were going to do. And yeah, I think I'm going to use the BGA, but it is a bit. I know myself from having done this lots of times. If we just look at the map, I often choose the Omatana because it's sort of lots of things. One of them, the fact that it would split bales into loose straw. It can then send things to somewhere else, but only obviously it can only do the job that it's told to do. So you could, I suppose, put another silo, but it's obviously a lot dearer. If you look at the junctures, what I would like to do if I was going to study this carefully is each of these is in like a section. So the central point is there. Obviously, you can't stick it in the junction outside, but you could stick it in one of those fields as close to that corner as possible for all three fields. You could do the same for that. as close to that middle juncture as possible. I think there's some trees there, so again, you could take the trees out for that. This 4, that was a bit of a trek, so you could sort of, actually, I suppose, you could study that a little differently. I don't know, how much... No, that would be, yeah, each one is, yeah. Trying to think, you could do those 3, but then it's quite twisted, I suppose. If you're going to do that, you'd modify your fields. I'm just trying to think the best possible way. There's 2, there's 3, that's 3 I think is best. That 3 is best. This 3 equally. And then there's this one and this one that's odd. But then there's this 3, where you could, I suppose, it's not quite as nice, but you could stick something in that corner, and it's in between all 3. It's an idea that I often like to study the map. It gives you a sort of bird's eye view, gives you ideas. But if we were going to do that, and we weren't going the Omatana, I learnt this on Rombos Road because that was such a huge farm. You've got to do what actually farmers do, which is you've got to have local storage, even if it's just for transportation, central hubs where you take your produce from and take it somewhere else. So a storage facility per se, that for then transportation later in bulk because it's big. That's the entire idea. So what I'm thinking is perhaps like the silos we've got in the yard, they're 100,000 each, but each one would service 3 fields. So we'd be like 4 of them in total for this. Now, Rombos, we had 5 or 6. Again, we had the Omatanas, the older ones that we had on the side of the fields, and they processed. We were just doing silage for a monstrous BGA. Now, again, you could do either straw directly, or you could just put Omatanas on. And can you see why I normally choose the Omatana? It's such a wide range of things, and it's not a little thing. The fact that it changes a bale, it literally tears that to pieces, and then converts it to silage, which just look at the BGA. I don't think the BGA will cope with that though. Is my point. And if you look at, we can't look at the Omatana because we've not got one to actually. The strength of this is you can send straw. The other one in the yard, we know, we sort of saw this, it sort of made me start to think, which I'm glad, and it is obviously in the right place. If we go down the yard, no, I had to leave myself enough room. We could see that it was already the manure point, which is for the pigs and the cows, is also linked to the small silo, which means we can do what we did. We did see this on Cavalier or on Maypole a little bit, and I couldn't figure it out back then. And it was ticking down. So it was behaving in a strange manner, but it was still going into the small silo. So if this small silo, you can then take your manure. The other thing you could do, I think this does do. Let's have a look. If we're formulating plans and giving people ideas, that type of thing, then sort of you've got to like look at it properly. So if we look at the small silo, I think you can do its liquids as well. I'm sure it is. It is. So what you could do is the slurry. Oh, it's an integral part, isn't it? Yeah, it is. The slurry pit here is like an integral part of this. Yeah, so we'd have to move this, or we'd put something close to it. We're talking about automation. And again, if this is obviously, it's going to be, the tank is going to be roughly down there. Yeah, you know, it's just strange, isn't it? You can get the manure pit that tells you where it's linked to, but you can't actually know if the slurry could go to this. That's my point. Yeah, it's the tank is separate. Is really what I'm trying to say. So, but what we could do is, if we have to shift that, we have to shift it. Simple as. So, but again, the manure, it's already going to go straight into this, and then we can tell the manure to go straight to the BGA. So We can do that with a straw, we can do it with that. So although it's going to cost more, I keep always say about this, especially for new players, is the fact that each one of these is an income stream. It's one business, but it's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. It's 8 businesses, 8 income streams. So if we use this to its full, now obviously you'd have to do sugar beet court, so sugar beet 2, obviously straw, we've seen potatoes, wood chips. Again, if we were going to do that, well, probably not the wood chips. I'm not. I mean, there may be some, but what I mean is I'm not thinking of for 1 minute of doing that grand style. Now that's very good. The potatoes, it also produces, yeah, there's no digestate for the wood chips. The straw likewise is only literal fuel, energy, batteries, and methane. This one, sugar beet, now that does, and sugar beet cuts, slightly less, but I suppose it is a way, really, when you consider it, of doing more with your sugar beet. So you could cut some of your sugar beet and then stick that in too, and instead of having, that's 12 tons of that and 24 odd tons of that. So that'd be 36 tons of that you could process per month. The manure is 24 tons. It's split into lots, but it is a little small. But this is not a normal map. You've got to think bigger. There are other BGAs on the map, so we don't have to have just one. Not saying that we don't know that some could be dearer. It looks like each of the maps is maintaining the integrity of what was going on with the original map. Like we saw only 80 cows on River View. I've got to train myself because I did this. I actually posted River View as Riverside for a while until an eagle-eyed viewer said, "Isn't this River View?" And I thought, yes, it is. And I realised I'd to put Riverside, which of course is a completely different map. I should know because I run a full Let's Play on it. So yeah, the little one, I had to change its name to Riverview, and I did make the mistake again yesterday of saying Riverside to begin with, and then I did pick myself up because it is Riverview. So yeah, on Riverview it was only 8 animals. So Cavalier Roy changed that on subsequent maps. Maypole had more animals. I can't remember if it was 2,000 though, but obviously, did we have 1,000 on? Yeah, we nearly reached the limit on Ebony Island, but we only had we didn't have a manure and we had the pasture. That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, we only had the pasture type, and I'm sure it was 1,000, but it may have been 2, but I think it was 1. What I mean is each of the integrity of the numbers that we saw on the original maps is here. So it may be that although we see this on Glenleithan's BGA, that we might see a completely different set of numbers, and we might not see all of this. We could do a test at the end of one session. If we bought 4 of these, even if one was the mill, obviously it's also going to process more. The cycles will be greater. That's my point. So even though we paid only 150,000, which is an amazing for this type of BGO with so many things, they may all 4 may be identical, and if they are, that would be fantastic. We could do 4 lots of this, which then would be quite a tremendous thing. If you sort of have that many income streams, to be honest, you could make it your life's work to, I mean, how much is the slurry? Because that's usually more. It's all very, yeah. Oh no, that's 24 times 4, so that's like 80 odd, 80 and 4 12s. Is that right? 4 fours are 16. Yeah, so 10 would be 42. So it'd be 84, and then the 4. It's about 90 odd tons. 90 odd tons of silage per month. The slurry again, 24 tons. Manure, I would 24 tons, 12 tons, 24 tons, 24 tons, 24 tons. That's the one we probably won't be doing, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 income streams. One that's a little smaller. The sugar beet cut is a little bit smaller. That still is an awful lot. If you could literally feed that And again, actually, it's not that much sugar beets. That isn't, not really. Even if you do the sugar beet cut or the sugar beets, it's still not that much. There's plenty of mods out there that can cut sugar beets. You can buy one of the proper sugar beets set, the lorries, not lorries, the augers that are actually just sugar beet cutters. We could buy one of those and we could literally cut that. You could stick the years, because if you look at the storage, we could feed that, we could stick it into the small silo, which has a limit of 400,000 litres per, which is a lot, really. So you could, and of course, this is it's 48,000. Although I do find that this is a bit of the cycles are not right for the silo type ones. Missy B's, it's some things it shifted everything, and it was well above the 48 or whatever her limit was. I upgraded it a couple of times because I was going on the cycles that it said, which would be 48,000, and it says cycles per month, so that should be 48,000 litres of whatever of those products it is. I think it's equal. Yeah, it is. It does more, much more. So I think that's different for this type of thing. But then other things do move not as fast as you think. So I scratch my head over the recipe for the silo type ones because I can't work it out because it's not consistent. Or the ones that I've seen aren't. I was, yeah, on Neverland. I was scratching my head thinking, hang on a minute, that's just shifted about 120 tons. How did it do that? How did it do that when it's supposed to be 48,000 litres or whatever it was supposed to be for that particular one? So that's one. I'm obviously also thinking, we're going to discuss. Yeah, it's been a long session. We're going to leave it there. But obviously, this is one of the first business we bought, and we are going to work very closely with this. I want to get the animals done, but I did want to get the first sort of the harvest done. We've got all winter now. Well, no, we've got loads of harvests to do. We have, yeah, and that's going to be ready. Ooh, that's going to be ready next, and then they're going to be later, and the grass will be ready in the morning. Well, this one 463 is ready now. Again, we have got the big. Yeah, I mean, the next job really would be. Well, we know what disappeared now. Yeah, it was the Omatana was the thing that disappeared. Yeah, it's literally that was the thing. I told you one of them went across the map, and the only thing missing was what I asked. Yeah, I've not seen it. We literally rode around the fields, and it's not here. And when I told it to show on the map, it didn't show on the map. And I don't think we did. We know it's not on here. Is it in the yard? Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, because there's more than one. Now I need to be in the yard. Let's have a quick look. I know we did have one, but I don't think it was the forage one is different to the little one that we've got, which is still an the TARDIS, but it's not the forage one. I think, unless I am getting my wires crossed, because I'm sure this was not the forage. No, it isn't. I didn't think it was. So that's a standard one. And yeah, the only thing we've got in there is the John Deere and that. So we've not got it. We're not hiding anything anywhere. So that means the forage wagon is sort of has disappeared. Now it's weird. I've had this before. They used to appear at the shop a time or two later, but when I did Around the Wood in 80 Days, and I had exactly this issue, and I did sort of say, and I wasn't kidding, as you can sort of see from the fact that it's now disappeared, that yeah, if we sort of go forage wagon, we can see I've got it. But if you say show on the map, there is no green beam of light anywhere. Not at all. Yeah, and there's no blinky objects. So that was the object that I said that had disappeared. If you look closely, there's nothing. We've just been there, and we've been in there. And we all know what's down there. None of those things there are it. They're all fertilizer. But there's not a single blinky light on the map. If we switch all of these off just so there's nothing at all hiding is there a blinky white light anywhere? And the answer to that question is no. The only thing blinking is me in the field. So yeah, there's literally, mind you, we would have to have traders, wouldn't we? That would have to be the one that yeah, and it's not blinking. We can see that quite plainly. So yeah, it's just disappeared. So it's worrying. What I'm going to have to do is go to the XML and put its XYZ coordinates in as close to this as possible. It may clash with one of these. I'm right though, it's not. There's two things together there. No, they both fit. That's all right. We did definitely. Yeah. So I'll get rid of these, and I shall see if I can change the coordinates to match the T2 or the Manitou, and then we could rescue it. We can do that. So it's a possibility. But that is definitely the end of the session. It has been a corker, but yeah, the grass you can see is still not ready, but we will this year, being as it's the first year, because the other thing is I was going to do some canola, wasn't I? So we're not going to rush through, because I would like to plant some canola. Although, are we going to go with the beads yet? Well, we need to look. That's what next session I would like to look at the map and see what the map has to offer, if it's the pasteurized milk type thing, or we can sort of look a little now at what the map has to offer. If we see pasteurized milk in that, then we know it's the same as, yeah, it is. And the sandwiches, the soybean oil, the yeast, it's using exactly the same as we saw on Ebony Island, which you'd expect, because Cavalier is going to do everything that every single map of his has had to offer from the beginning, because it's obviously tied into each of the maps. So yeah, just trying to see if there's anything different, but no, I think we're going to have, obviously we're going heavily into animals, heavily. So milk is going to be a heavy part of this, which means, to be honest, if we're going to buy a dairy, which we are, and again, we might, let's have a quick look on the thing to see. In fact, we could save the game and have a quick look now at 2 on the map, and then I am really going just as a guide to see. We know we've got the cash, so we're looking for the local bakery. I should have known that, wasn't it? Oil, cereal, sugar mill. We need to buy the sugar mill for doing the yeast as well, so to go with like the map. So there's some things: heating plant, bakery. Let's go visit. Let's switch those on. We have saved it. Oh, I can see a collectible. Can't pretend that I didn't see it. 5,000, very nice. So if we buy this, we're looking for a bakery. We're looking for the milk, the dairy, I believe. We will look for that as well at some other time, but for now, I just want to look at 2 dairies. Snapped it down the wrong way around. Yep. And we're going to buy 2 because I want to compare them. Yeah, like as in this map and the top map, just to see, has Cavalier done the same? I would have thought he would have done, but what I mean is we would need to see this. Spinnery, factory, grain mill. I can't even remember if these are in the same place. Oil plant. Oh, was that? Oh, that's Riverview. Yeah. Sugar, carpenter, dairy. So if we buy this, it looks the same to me. If it is, okay, so collectible as well. We will be able to get that though. Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of been put in a... Yeah, because you're still going to be able to do that. It's not going to let you... If you crouch down... crouch down now? No, it's yeah, it'll be fixed. It's one of those sort of issues, isn't it, really? So we don't need that on now. Let's have a look now and see if that's 2. Obviously, this we've not really bought this. This is just for us to show. That's why I always do this saving thing, although sometimes I have forgotten. They are identical, which is brilliant because I mean you could upgrade one. You could argue that that's probably the better way to do it, and maybe it is. It's yeah, the second upgrade only costs 70,000 anyway, so therefore wouldn't cause any issues. And it's well, it doesn't matter how close it is. It's all about people driving stuff to wherever, isn't it? But you'd also need the sugar to produce that as well, the yeast as a byproduct. So, but yeah, we'll leave it there. So it is the same. I was right. Yeah, which is brilliant. It really is. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.